Hey, this is Abe.
And this is Alexa.
Welcome back to the Get Out and Enjoy Life podcast, or GOEL.
We are back on our couch. You may have noticed that our last few videos have been a little different. You saw us in Maui, you saw us make gingerbread houses, but now we're back to chat with you and we're doing a little recap of our trip to Maui so you can kind of get the behind the scenes of all the videos that you saw. So we're kind of going to talk about our favorite things that we did there, a little bit about our hike, and so on.
So what was your most favorite part about Maui?
I just love the environment. The people are so kind. I think the culture is really beautiful. The scenery, I mean, anywhere you go, there's amazing views.
Yeah.
And then Abe and I have some usual things that we do while we're there, like
Get shaved ice.
getting shaved ice, going out to eat. We go check out kind of the little towns that are nearby, which I always love. I love visiting the little shops.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
And going to
thing.
the beach there, little beach
Going to
there.
the beach, yeah.
Or Baby Beach, actually.
Yeah.
But,
what was your favorite part?
The highlight for me on this trip was hiking the crater. And we've
Yeah.
talked about doing it a couple of times. I think this was your fourth trip going.
Yeah. It's my fourth time.
And we've gone up to the crater, I believe.
Fourth time to Maui, but not
Right.
fourth time to the crater.
Yeah, so we've been up to the crater, I think, twice previously. Once to see the sunset, and then once to just kind of go up there.
Yeah.
And this time, like, we really got everything together. We brought our hiking boots. You brought some trekking poles.
Yeah, and actually they were amazing. It was my first time using them, and I bought them purposefully for this hike just because it had been talked up so much that this is a hard hike, that you're going to have to go, downhill, uphill, switchbacks at the end. And so I wanted to be ready. And apparently, from what I had been told previously, the trekking poles are supposed to help relieve some of the pressure on your knees as you're going down and up while you're hiking. And Abe and I have actually been on quite a few hikes where we've seen people with them.
Yeah.
And one of the last hikes we had done, we asked people why they use them and, if they're really good to work with. So they really were.
Yeah, and my parents, they hike 3 weeks out of the year, just continuously, like backpacking. And they use trekking poles and highly recommend them. I've actually never used them. You just bought me a pair for Christmas, so I'm excited to try them out.
Yeah.
So we got all our stuff together to do this hike. What we hiked was Haleakala National Park, the crater. And the crater is, I believe it's
a volcano
Yeah, it's a
crater.
volcano, but I can't remember if it's active or not.
I don't think so. It hasn't erupted. When I looked it up online, don't quote me, but I think it hasn't erupted in like 200 years.
Yeah, but I think it's still the possibility.
Oh.
Like Mount St. Helens or Rainier. Yeah.
One of those.
Anyway, so hiking the crater, like my family did it like almost every spring break, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. There's some cabins down there, but people like book those out for months ahead. So
But there's camping there too.
there is camping.
Right?
Like I think we only stayed in the cabins once ever.
Oh, you stayed in the cabins? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You guys all piled into one.
But you have to, if you're bringing everything.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot to carry in there too.
Yeah, and usually we just took our tents if we camped.
Yeah.
But so starting out, we started out at the base of the crater, or the top of the crater, and then you hike down through this area called Sliding Sands, which is like it's all cinders. But you slide. The joke is that every step you take, you slide 2 feet.
We were sliding all over the place, honestly, because it's all downhill. It's very loose rock up there. I mean, not as loose as what we encountered in the middle of the hike. But yeah, we were sliding. It's all downhill. It's about 4 miles, I think.
Yeah, and one of the comments that you made to me, or actually my entire family, was you're like, oh, you guys take so many breaks.
Yes. I've only ever been hiking with Abe. I would not consider myself a hiker. Maybe I'm like a beginner hiker.
You're a beginner hiker.
Yeah, I'm a beginner now.
We've done quite a few hikes now.
Yeah, and they haven't been easy ones either.
They're not
They've
walks.
been pretty hard. But I've only been hiking with Abe, and we take breaks when we hike, but not long breaks.
Like
We
maybe a
don't take
15-minute break
full, let's get out a
10-minute
whole
break.
meal
Yeah.
kind of breaks. And we did with his family, and I was like, wow, like this is way more enjoyable.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah, I guess Abe prepped me for the hike.
Yeah, kind of, in a cruel sort of way. Yeah, especially with this hike, because we've hiked it so much, we have like these areas that we already know that we're going to stop at. And so going down Sliding Sands, there's like a rock there, a pretty big like boulder outcropping that we stopped at. And then going down to the bottom, I was joking that the barista is down there because that's where we had our first coffee break. We took a Stanley thermos, that old style green thermos, and drank some coffee down there.
Yeah, it was a much needed break. Did you have any coffee that morning? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It was just because we had to get up pretty early.
We
I think
did.
Probably around 6:30ish.
Because it takes a while to drive up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took us probably an hour and a half to drive up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It actually was more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Actually, when we were probably like, I don't know, 8 miles into the hike or whatever it is to the cabins, I actually was like, oh, this isn't that bad. But like, I don't want to speak up about it because we still have like a couple miles of switchbacks, to go up.
Yeah.
But the switchbacks actually were not that bad. I would say what was hard for me was how high we had to go up. The incline was not bad when you were kind of going back and forth. But at one point, I was totally like shaking with my poles, and Abe's asking me like, oh, can you take a video of me? Can you take a picture of me? And I'm like, I can't right now. I was just trying to like keep it together, honestly, because the height.
Yeah.
As we kept going up, it got better. And what's nice is that it was really sunny while we were there. Mm-hmm. There also were very beautiful rainbows,
we saw
which was so special.
Yeah.
And it was like a nice relief when we would go from like the sunny side over to like the misty side where the rainbows were. You could still see the sun, but it was just like, it was nice.
What was the hardest part of the hike for you?
I didn't. Well, I mean, the switchbacks were, I guess, probably the hardest part. But the other hard part was in the center. I'm not sure what kind of little trail that's considered, but there's a lot of loose rocks that weren't small at all.
Like right before the switchbacks.
Right before the switchbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just kind of like, I'm glad I had my poles to kind of keep me up because I felt like I was sliding around, trying to like grip, the ground.
Yeah, and it's not like you're walking flat. It's like going down and
like
up.
up and down and up and down. It actually was really hard on my knees. I would say that part was the hardest on my knees.
Especially if the rocks are, they're general size. They're like kind of the size of softballs, and then, like gravel and all different types. So
yeah, so I'd probably say that part right around the cabin kind of area. But overall, it was very beautiful. It looks like another planet in there. If you saw our video at all, which you should go check out if you haven't. But yeah, it's like kind of otherworldly, which is really cool.
Yeah, I totally enjoyed hiking it, and
you've been looking forward to it for a very long time.
Since we started dating.
Yes.
And you're the only significant other out of my siblings that has hiked it. So you really know what everyone's been through. Because growing up, like I said, we've all kind of hiked it at least once a year. And it's something that I always looked forward to. It's really kind of like a meditation almost of hiking through it, because you can talk, you don't have to talk, everyone kind of hikes at their own pace, you can hike as a group, and so over the course of, I think it's like 12 to 13 miles, everyone comes together or breaks up.
Yeah, we had a couple times where we broke up from like your parents and your brother, and then we were on our own for a bit because we were taking videos of things and pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, eventually we all caught up to, we would catch up to each other at different points, or we'd hike together.
Yeah.
So it was really nice.
Yeah. For the rest of the trip, though, I mean, the other highlight for me was just getting out to the beach and really just the weather. Like, it's just, it's nice and humid there. it's warm. It wasn't really considered warm for Maui's standards at the time while we were there.
No, because when we got off the plane, we were like, oh, it's kind of cold, because we had our puffy jackets from Washington. You know, it gets cold on the plane. It was cold here in Washington. But I was like, oh no, like I didn't prepare for this, because I didn't really have too many sweaters. Like I brought dresses, and I think I brought a pair of shorts. And
I think the temperature was about like 60 degrees. So it wasn't really cold, but it wasn't
windy.
Really warm. Yeah.
It was windy when we got out of the airport.
And I think it rained some while we were there as well.
Yeah.
My parents live on the rainy side of the island, so we went and went and saw my mom's garden, which was really cool.
And flourishing.
Yeah, it's flourishing. All the good food that she cooked for us.
I picked star fruit for the first time.
And then the Paholi ferns was also another big thing. It's I'd actually never been picking them. My mom started kind of doing that later on after I left. I'd had them before, like, you know, from the
store or something.
I can't think of the name all of a sudden.
Like farmers market.
The farmers market, yeah. So, and you can buy them in the store too, but. Yeah, it was a good experience, and while we were eating them, it was kind of weird. I'd forgotten how they tasted. They kind of like got a slimy feel to them.
Yeah, I literally thought I was having an allergic reaction just because I felt like my mouth was getting coated with like something.
It almost feels numb.
It almost feels numb. Yeah, but it really was like the slime or the I don't know what you consider it.
I think it's the slime of the fern.
Of the ferns. I mean, the salad was good that your mom made.
The dressing.
The dressing was really good.
She's like sesame seed.
Soy sauce.
And soy sauce and sugar,
Did she use rice vinegar?
Maybe.
No, maybe, I don't know.
It was really good.
It was very good, but I'm like so weird about textures. And so I was like eating and I was like, my face was changing as I was eating it, and your mom said she noticed me like kind of freaking out because I was like, oh no, what's going on?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Go ahead.
That was good. So I'm trying to remember what else we did.
We went to Paia, which is one of our usual stops.
We walked around there quite a bit.
Little beach town. We always walk on that beach while we're there. And then there's a lot of little shops. There's a really amazing coffee shop that we went to.
Yeah, we went there twice. They did this deconstructed coffee. Oh my gosh.
Like, it was so good.
It was so good. We should try to make that here.
Yeah, they basically used coffee ice cubes instead of just like regular water ice cubes. And you could pour like a shot of espresso over the ice cubes, and then whatever milk that you wanted.
So we got oat milk.
Yeah, and it was just really good.
Really good.
Like I've never had something like that. That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And then I think I got like a matcha latte the first time we were there. I don't know what you got, just regular latte?
I think a regular latte. And then when we went back, we actually each got our own deconstructed coffee.
Yeah, and the ambiance is it's really cool. It's beachy, a lot of like natural wood.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a chill place. And then there's a lot of like stores that have clothing in them. There's like a little thrift shop kind of back behind one of the stores, little trinkets, local art. There's always a lot of people walking around, and then we always stop at the Paia fish market.
Yeah,
which is
the
very
Paia
good.
fish market. Oh my gosh, it's pretty expensive. Like, I think everything there is pretty much like $20 and up.
Yeah, but the food's so good.
So
it is
good.
Quality fish. Yeah. Like if you like fish and chips, if you like marinated fish.
And we thought there were only like 3 of them, but the one in Lahaina burned down. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. But we had been to the one in Lahaina, and then we had been to the one in Oahu. And the Paia fish market, but there's actually one in Kihei as well, I think, and there's another one on Oahu, I think, somewhere else. So there's actually like 4 left now. But it's so good. And we bought they have this like hot sauce, like it's almost like a chili.
It's almost like it's kind of sweet. Yeah. It's kind of hot, kind of tangy. And it's just a really good sauce to put on literally everything. And we're almost done with our bottle, so we need to get some more either next time we're there, or I don't know if we can order it or something. But
one of the things was they have like these big bottles of it sitting on the table. I'm like, I'm going to buy one of those. And then, but the bottles that they sell are like
so tiny.
This big. Like, it's not the size of the bottle that's on the table.
Yeah.
So it was really good. We actually ended up just sharing one plate of food amongst us.
Totally enough for
Yeah.
2 people to share. And then we have a shaved ice place we like to go to there.
Ululani's.
And you can get all kinds of mixtures. I think, what do I usually get? I don't even know what it's called, but it has this flavor called tiger's blood that I really like. I don't even know what
I don't know what it is either. I don't know if it's Maui or...
I almost think it's like kind of citrusy.
Huh.
Like a mixture of 2 different flavors or something. And then I get like, it's coconut, tiger's blood, and something else. And then you get a snow cap on it, which is like condensed milk on the top. Makes it kind of creamy, makes it like an ice cream.
Milk just like brings it all together.
Yeah, and it's not actually something that I see here very often in Washington.
Yeah. Ululani's is great, especially like I talked about in the video. They make sure like the entire shaved ice portion is drenched in the flavors.
Which is
like,
great.
Because we had been to some like in Wailea and getting shaved ice there, and the bottom was just ice. It was.
Do you want to explain what Wailea is?
Yeah, Wailea is,
because we stopped there.
Yeah.
Too.
So it's on the kind of like the opposite side of the island that my parents live on, and so I didn't go over there a lot growing up. But it's kind of where all the resorts are, and some really good beaches over there. And so we went in.
Sunny and warm.
Yeah, it's usually always very sunny and warm. And so we went in. There's a big a beach that we go and walk over there. And while we were walking this beach, we actually parked in a different parking lot that we don't normally park in. And I didn't even know about the parking lot. It's kind of like sits right on the beach. Had a porta potty.
Really nice.
There's only probably 15 spaces to park in it. And we walked up and down the beach, and then we couldn't find
the car, even though the parking lot was right on the beach.
Literally, it blends in with all the shrubbery and everything.
And then also when you're walking on the beach, there's these huge homes, like these huge beach
mansions.
homes, like mansions. And so all the mansions start looking the same after a while. And you're just like, is that there's these little walkways that are in between some of the houses.
Yeah.
And so you're like, is that the walkway we went through? And then we're like, oh wait, but that one looks like it. And we just ended up walking around forever, got our steps in, eventually found the car, which was really good. But
we had to walk off of the beach
Yeah.
and then walk along the road to help have GPS
far.
get us back to the parking lot.
Yeah.
We actually found the old parking lot that we normally park at, and we're like, oh, that would have been so convenient, but no.
But it was fun nonetheless, and it was really sunny and warm, so I got to wear my beach dress, which I was happy about, and got to walk the beach.
And we went to Walmart afterwards, and they have kind of a touristy section there that you can go buy, chocolates and things like that at, and
which I bought some to bring back
Yeah.
for people and bring back to family and stuff like that.
and then I ate a box as well, so
Yeah, the chocolate covered macadamia nuts, the Island Macs, if you don't know them.
And then we, during the whole course of the trip, it was really great. The flight that we used to fly out on, well, actually, for the whole flight in general, it was really cheap. We bought it
It was
in August, I think. And
basically it was the same amount as what we would pay in the summer to come for one individual ticket.
It was $150 each way for one of us.
Basically without the tax.
Yeah,
without the tax.
So we got really lucky, but we did fly out. We did do a red eye out of
We
Maui.
also, on the way there, we
Right.
stopped in San Francisco from Seattle, which we usually just fly straight, and that's
so
about 6 hours. But it made it 9 hours.
Yeah.
It was pretty long.
And we were like, is this worth it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're already in it, but just thinking about it, I think it was probably worth it.
It was worth it. I mean, it felt like a really long day, though. And actually, there was a lot of turbulence on
going
the
into
flight
Maui.
from San Francisco to Maui.
Yeah.
So that was kind of uncomfortable, but it was totally fine and totally worth it for the price.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a really good price. We flew the red eye out at 11 o'clock at night, and they had offered for us to upgrade our tickets up to first class for like $150, and it's like
135.
135, and we're like, Alexa
I
wanted
know
to do
because I was
it,
tempted.
and I was like, I don't know, and we talked about it, and we didn't end up doing it, but it turned out okay, and
Yeah, I mean, we're sleeping the whole flight, so we're hoping that when we do take a first class flight and bump ourselves up, that, you know, we're awake and we can really enjoy it.
Yeah. I've never flown first class ever in my life. You have, though, I think.
I have a couple times.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It's just luxurious. There's a lot of space. You get the little hot towel,
Oh
you
my
know, to
gosh.
wipe your
That
hands
sounds
off
nice.
when you come on the plane.
They're like,
and-
here's this dry napkin.
Right. There's like, here's
leg
some
room.
pretzels. Like,
Yeah.
throw it at you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I think,
Also, I don't know, but like the airline that we took, we had no little in-flight
Oh,
movie.
that's right.
And like I remember with some airlines that we've taken that we do have that. And I swear when you have like a flight that's like over 5 hours or something like that, you usually have that. But this airline did not have it. So I was kind of shocked at that. I mean, if you had an iPad, I mean, it worked
Yeah.
out well because you could go on to their
plus there was like
Wi-Fi.
they almost expected you to have an iPad because there's like
Right.
a holder like on the back of the seat that held, it was like a clip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could hold your iPad up. Luckily, we had our iPads, so we could like watch
Right.
movies if we wanted.
Those have been around for a while, but I forgot about them.
I've actually never noticed that.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the first time I was like, wow, this is like a good invention.
Because you're flying in first class.
No. Most of the time I'm not. I'm like economy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the
anyways.
flight was good. Alexa's mom ended up picking us up. My brother-in-law drove us there, so we didn't have to pay for
Uber, which
Uber
would
or
be so
anything,
expensive.
Really,
Like
Yeah.
probably close to $100.
especially because we flew out really early in the morning. We flew out at like 7 in the
Yeah.
morning when we
7
went
in the
there, and like
morning.
getting up at 3. I'm like asking someone to get up at 3 and drive us, or 3:30
Right.
or whatever
Felt so
it was.
bad. Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
then, like, you know, of course, with the red eye, we got here at like 6:30
Right,
in the
yeah,
morning.
like-
So it's like you have to ask somebody again to
Yeah.
like be up early. And luckily,
So-
the people who took us were up early.
Yeah.
So
They were up early for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it was really good, and I think we're gonna try to do some more vlogs here and there.
Yeah, because we really enjoyed it. It's kind of fun to kind of, you know, pause the podcast from time to time of us just, you know, sitting on the couch so that you can actually see what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, really enjoy the views with us.
Yeah, and we have a trip coming up in March that we'll probably do a vlog on. So yeah.
Yeah, so we won't tell you what that is just yet. So you'll be surprised.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us on Get Out and Enjoy Life, or GOEL podcast.
We hope you get out and enjoy life in whatever way that means to you, whether it is traveling, whether it's going to see a friend, seeing family, taking a walk around your neighborhood. We hope you get out and live life to the fullest.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.